estimated more than 500,000 pets are affected by fires, with more than 40,000 deaths. The Fetch Foundation says these bags provide pets the best chance of survival.
Fetch Foundation mission is to save and rescue animals and put them into different homes and different jobs, and this is just another part of that, knowing that even when we're rescuing animals from shelter and placing them in service, that the fire stations that are surrounding those dogs are there to support and be able to save those dogs' lives as well.
They say the goal is to have a bag in every fire station across the United States.